Pittsburgh Steelers defensive back Keanu Neal moving to inside linebacker when needed for the defense and being a versatile piece is going to be a scary sight for opposing offenses. The reason this video is being made is because early reports from OTAs and from minicamp have said that Keanu Neal has spent a lot of time playing the inside linebacker position, not just in dime packages either, just in regular. And the Steelers, they have a slight disadvantage at inside linebacker. That looks like a weak spot on their team compared to other areas, and Keanu Neal potentially helping that can be a big thing for the Steelers this season. So with Keanu Neal, he's 27 years old, and me saying that he's moving to inside linebacker and playing that in certain type of situations isn't to say that he isn't going to play safety as well, because obviously he will. But at inside linebacker, he's played that a lot in his career. When you think about it, like I said, he's 27 years old, and he's played a total of 4,242 career snaps in the league. And half of that, with 2,174, are coming from being inside the box. And of those 2,174 snaps in the box, 1,195 of those have come in the last 3 seasons. So he has been playing inside linebacker and playing linebacker in a package a lot recently, especially with the Cowboys. That's where he really had the most time, as they used him more as an inside linebacker than they used him as a safety and a defensive back. So he is versatile, and it's just not like you're moving him just to move him. You're moving him knowing that he can actually play the position because he's had done so already in this league, and especially recently. Just looking at the numbers specifically, because I did say he's a versatile defender, 233 of 580 box snaps for Keanu Neal came in 2022, and 98 as a slot defender. So he does have some experience playing in the slot as well. We know this year's slot guy left in free agency this year, and they don't really have a slot defender now. Yes, they brought in Sullivan, but having multiple guys play that area and having an advantage in that area, knowing some guys could play it if some guys don't do good, is a good sign for this year's defense. And in 2021, he played 478 snaps in the box of 579 with the Cowboys. So most of his time in the box, in the slot, he was being moved around in a lot in the Cowboys defense compared to other teams that he's been on. So enough with the numbers. Let's talk about why the title of this video is "It's a Scary Sight for Opposing Offenses, and the offenses are going to have a hard time against it." So it all starts off with the inside linebacker position for the Steelers. Like I said earlier in the video, we all know that's one of the weak spots on the team. They brought in 2 new guys who look to be the starters, and Mark Robinson coming back. So they have Holcomb, they have Elijah Roberts, and they have Mark Robinson. And then the inside linebacker position, that's really a weak class compared to all the other positions on the team having playmakers. Hopefully Holcomb and Mark Robinson could step up, and Elijah Roberts could bring something to the team. But having someone in Keanu Neal being able to play that position and having defensive back instincts, like having the hands of a defensive back and having like the awareness of him and the coverage ability, can help, because the Steelers, they have more thumpers at the inside linebacker position. Yes, they just signed one recently, inside linebacker, who plays zone coverage, but who knows if he's even going to make the team. So having Keanu Neal be the only guy who could really play coverage out of the 3 linebackers they have right now is a big deal, because if you have a guy in Holcomb who's going to be your thumper, who's going to be your all-around tackler, you have Mark Robinson, who we all know is a thumper and a hit stick guy. So having Keanu Neal play that position in like a package, or not even in a package, just a little bit regularly, can help the Steelers defense a lot, because then it allows him to match up on tight ends and maybe slot guys, and he's a better coverage than putting your inside linebacker out wide on a running back or out wide on a tight end or wide receiver, as you've seen Robert Spillane do the last few seasons that he's been on the team, and he was getting burnt a lot. So having Keanu Neal play that and being able to play zone coverage or man coverage against those guys a little bit better can be helpful, especially having thumpers just be themselves. And now it's a scary sight, because if the offenses try to have a mismatch on the field, like they would trying to have a guy get covered by the inside linebacker, having Keanu Neal play inside linebacker, now the mismatch is not there. It's not as big of a difference as if you'd have a defensive back on him because he is a defensive back to begin with. Moving on to the safety group, because not only is Keanu Neal going to help the inside linebackers being able to be a versatile defender there, he's also going to be able to help the safety group with Minkah Fitzpatrick and DeMonte KZ. Because when you think of those players' game, what do you think of? They think of roamers. They roam the field and they be playmakers and they make a difference and get interceptions. That's their role. Their role is to be a playmaker out there and roam the field. But moving a safety into the box can be really helpful, because if you're able to have a safety move down and make those tackles and know that they're able to reach the outside and be good in the run game, then that allows the safeties, the other safeties on their team, to not have to come down maybe as much and be that playmaker outside, not having to worry too much about going into the box, because you know that your guy next to you can make those tackles, make that, so you don't have to help them as much, being able to be a playmaker and do your job and get some interceptions. So Keanu Neal is not only going to help the inside linebacker group, but he's also going to help Minkah Fitzpatrick and DeMonte KZ play freely. We all know Minkah Fitzpatrick, he loves getting interceptions. That's the main thing he does, play that center field. And DeMonte KZ, when he came back from injury, that's what he was doing as well. He was playing in the center field. He was playing and being a playmaker out there, roaming the field, trying to get interceptions. He got one, and he could have got way more if he didn't drop them. But being able to play playmaker, the Steelers love going 3 safety sets, and we all talked about that going into the season last year with DeMonte KZ, Minkah Fitzpatrick, and when Terrell Edmunds was here. But then DeMonte KZ got injured, and that threw all the plans out the window. And then when he came back, he was still getting used to it, and it was too late in the season to play that 3 safety set. But having that 3 safety set now, right away, hopefully no injuries happen this season like it did last season, that could be really helpful for the Steelers defense, and there could be so many things this defense could do with versatile defenders. Yes, DeMonte KZ, he could also was getting slot time, so he was also playing in the slots because he is a coverage guy. So hopefully him being versatile as well helps the defense out as a whole, but Keanu Neal being versatile, it helps the defense altogether. Looking at Keanu Neal's build, usually when you put a defensive back in the box, they're kind of a smaller guy, so you're afraid of them making tackles. But Keanu Neal is not a small guy. His build, he is 6 foot, 211 pounds. That's a big guy going to the box, so you don't have to be afraid of him making tackles or stepping up and making plays. And going back to being versatile, we all know that's what the Steelers look for, especially on the defense, being able to play multiple positions, and that's why they brought him in. And even before, when he was a draft guy and coming out of the draft, the Steelers had major interest in him. They didn't obviously select him, and he went with a different team, and a different team drafted him, but they had their eyes on him for multiple years now, and he's finally on the team, probably because of that versatility that he could bring to the defense. But altogether, this should help the Steelers and be a scary sight for opposing defenses and help the inside linebacker group and help the safety group a lot. He might not be the starter in terms of having the safeties on the field in like a set. Like for example, when you play 2 safety sets, it might be DeMonte KZ and it might be Minkah Fitzpatrick, but who knows? It might be Keanu Neal because he could do that and he's played a lot of it and he is a veteran in this league and has played a lot. So with that being said, let me know down in the comments below. How do you feel about this? How do you feel about Keanu Neal getting reps at the inside linebacker spot during OTAs and during minicamp? Would you like to see him transition there and play more of a part-time role there along with defensive back, or do you want him to stick to one position and kind of key on in that? Or would you want to be versatile and play all around the field, be a box defender and help out each position? Do you like what you're seeing from him? Do you like him moving positions or do you not? Let me know down in the comments below. And also, don't forget to subscribe to the channel down below as well if you like Steelers content, analysis, and reports. Like the video, turn on post notifications down below for this channel as well so you get notified whenever I post next year's video. I cover everything Pittsburgh Steelers football. This past couple of months, I've been covering everything from the draft, free agency, even every signing we've done, whether that was undrafted guys, whether it was just free agent signings, all the new guys that the Steelers have picked up, that we have picked up, their introduction and what they're bringing to the table is on the channel. So if you want to go see the introduction to all the new players, go ahead and watch it. They're on the channel, and everything moving forward, I'm covering it all from the Trobin training camp to preseason, regular season, repeating the whole cycle back to the draft. Covering it all. This is the best spot for Steelers news to keep up to date with all news rumors. And with that being said, like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys all later. Till next time, I'm out. Peace.